So quick thing before this video starts, I'm editing right now, but tomorrow is going to be the first day of Vlogmas, so this video is going to be going up tomorrow morning, and then the first day of Vlogmas will be either up tomorrow night, December 1st, or December 2nd morning. So make sure you guys subscribe because I'm going to be uploading every single day of December. On to the video.
Hi guys, it's Jenna. So today's video is going to be a little like applying to college 101 because I feel like when you are at the age where you're supposed to be looking at colleges and applying to colleges and stuff, people just expect you to like know it, but how are you supposed to know it if you've never been through it? Unless you're like watching a YouTube video like this. So I thought it would be helpful for you guys if I made this video, and I know it's kind of past like the time where you would put in like your early applications, but I figured this could help people who haven't put in their applications yet, who are gonna like submit for like January, or people that are younger, like sophomores and juniors. So, sorry about the lighting, by the way. I can't really do much about it, and the angle might be a little bit weird, but this is the best we're working with. So I'm just gonna start. I have like notes here, that's why I'm like looking down, but I'm just gonna start with like the end of sophomore year / like the summer between your sophomore and junior year. So this is the time when you should start researching and visiting colleges that you might be interested in. Oh, and I forgot to mention that I'm a freshman in college right now, so I just went through this process last year. So that's why I thought it'd be a good time to make this video. But first, just visit like a bunch of colleges that you might be interested in. Like obviously if they don't have anything you're interested in, like don't visit them because that's a waste, but you should be thinking about things like size, location, majors, and then the costs. Like you should probably talk to your parents about the cost part, and then, but really it's your decision. Don't let people tell you where you should go or what you should major in, because it's your decision and you're not going to be happy there if it's someone else's choice that they made for you. So the sizes that there usually are, it's like small, medium, and large. Large would be like, I don't know, like Boston University. I don't even know any large colleges, but like really big colleges. And then like medium is like Geneseo, where I go. And then small is like, I don't even know, I should have thought of examples for these, but like small is like less than 1,000 maybe. I'll put it on the screen. And then medium's like 1,000 to like 10,000, and then I think 10,000 and more is large. I don't know, I'll put the amounts on the screen if I'm wrong. But yeah, so basically you should just research all like majors that exist at a bunch of these colleges and then see what you want to go for. Obviously you don't have to know exactly what you want to be yet, just have like an idea. Or like me, I didn't know what I wanted to be. I thought I wanted to be like all these different things, so I was searching for a college that had like a bunch of different majors, so if I wanted to switch my major after, I could. And it's also okay to be undecided, but you just gotta have like a general idea. So I would honestly recommend going on visits that are with like students, like a day visit or like an overnight visit or something. Obviously like do a campus visit or a tour or whatever with your parents, like that's fine, but I think you can get a better feel for the school when you're not with the big isolated group. I feel like it's like kind of like, I don't even know, like a zoo, and you're just like walking through like observing stuff when you're with the tour, but when you're with an actual student, it's kind of like you go here. So yeah, I would honestly recommend that. I did that with, the only place I did that with Geneseo, but that's because like this was like one of my top schools, so I just wanted to do it. But I would have went on so many more if I had like thought of that earlier. And then the last thing you should be doing like end of sophomore and the summer between sophomore and junior year is maybe start studying for your SAT/HCT if you want. Like fall of your junior year you take your PSAT, so if you want to like study a lot for it, maybe start, but you probably don't have to start studying like that early. But if you're like trying to get like perfect score or something, then sure. So then, like I said, fall of junior year is when you take your PSAT. That the PSAT is a pre-exam to the SAT. So basically the SAT is a standardized test, and some colleges use it and some don't. Like some use it more heavily than others, and some don't even ask for it. But it's basically a standardized test, and on it is just a bunch of basic questions. Like there's grammar, like basic math, reading, and it just shows like it pretty much puts everyone on a level scale. But honestly, I don't think it really does, because some people are better test takers than others, because you have to do it in this like a timed amount of time, if that makes sense. Like a timed, you have to do it, it's timed. So oh yeah, so basically if one high school gives out all easy A's in like really hard classes and then another high school doesn't, it puts everyone on a level field. So like you could show that your high school was hard if you have a bad GPA. So, and then fall, you should just be continuing your college visits and doing a lot of research. And then January for junior year, I would suggest taking your SAT first time in January. That's when I did it. And I thought that was helpful because then I would have time after to retake it and study for the retake. So you can either, in January, you can either, if you're planning on already taking it twice, you can either go in cold, like no studying, or study. Probably study because you could just save your money and not, I'll put on the screen what like the exact price of it is like currently. I don't know like obviously, but yeah, I would suggest studying. Like there's Khan Academy books, and then also you should take the ACT just so you have options, because they're a little bit different. Like I thought I did better on the ACT, but then I ended up not doing that like as good as I did on the SAT on it. They're both like scored differently. So the SAT I think is out of 1600, and then the ACT is out of 30 something. I don't know. I'll put it on the screen, but yeah. So you should take both those, and I would suggest studying with those resources that I said. So then in the spring of your junior year, that's an opportunity to retake your SAT with studying. And then, I mean, obviously if you're happy with your score, like you don't need to retake it, but if you want to see if you can do better, take it. And then some colleges also do a super score, which is if you take it more than once, like you get on the SAT, you get a score for each section. And the super score is basically, they add up your best scores. So like your best score from math, your best score from English, your best score from writing. And then that's a super score. So then summer between your junior and senior year is when you should be narrowing down the colleges you think you want to apply to. I applied to a lot of colleges, I think like 15 maybe. So maybe like try to like narrow it down more. And the only reason I did that was because I really didn't know where I wanted to go, and I really didn't know what I wanted to do. So I applied to schools, like I knew I wanted to be in the Northeast, but I applied to schools all over New York where I live, and then I applied to schools that are in New England too, just because I really didn't know where I wanted to go. It makes it so much easier if you know where you want to go and like exactly what you want to do, or you have an idea. But I had kind of an idea what I wanted to do. At first, my first major idea was chemistry, and like I'm not in chemistry right now, like I don't like science really. And then I wanted to do, I don't even know, like dentistry or something like that. And now I'm in business. Oh, and then my other thing was like film. So I applied to a few schools where if I got into like they were like really good schools, like NYU. I applied to that, and like if I got into NYU, I was gonna go there for film. And that was like gonna be my sign that I was supposed to go there if I had gotten on. I got waitlisted, by the way, but. And then I applied to like the rest of my schools as business administration, and I think I applied to one school as political science because I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like I had a few ideas, but it was gonna be like my sign that I was supposed to go there and do this major if I had gotten into that. So yeah, basically it's just a lot easier to narrow down colleges if you know like what size, location, like majors. And then cost could be a factor. Like I wouldn't rely, some people rely their whole like idea about their college on the price, and I don't know if you guys should do it. Like obviously take it into account, but don't like base your whole thing off that, because then you won't be happy. So, oh yeah, and then just go on more visits. And then like once you narrow down like a few, I would visit, if they're not like a million miles away from your house, like I would visit the ones you're going to apply to a few times. So then the fall of your senior year is the most important time. So that in the beginning of the year, like September, or if your school starts in August, I don't know, my school starts in September, well, when I was in high school. But this is the time you should be asking your teachers for recommendation, at least 2, but like maybe 3. I think you only need 2 for most, but I mean, more is not always better. 2 solid ones is good. So basically you want to ask like teachers you've had in the past, or maybe like I, for example, asked, who did I even ask? Oh, I had asked 2 teachers that I had. One was an English teacher that I had junior year, and then I had her again senior year. And then the other one was a math teacher that I had junior, and then I had again senior year. So basically any teacher that you have a good relationship with, maybe that you've had multiple times, that would want to give you a good recommendation. And then just, you guys should really be kind to these teachers that do it, because it's kind of a lot of work to do that. And so I just got like a small gift card from Dunkin' Donuts, and I gave it to them as a thank you for doing that for me, because it's really important, with just like a little note. So I would suggest that you guys do that too. And then this is also the time that you need to have a good relationship with your guidance counselor, because you will be in like the guidance office like a million times, like at least I was, I don't know, but your guidance counselor also gives you a recommendation, and they're the ones that like puts your transcripts on there and like helps you submit everything, kind of. I don't know if your guys' school uses this, but my school used Naviance, and so on there is where I had to go on and I had to request my teachers to do the recommendation for me, and I would request that my guidance counselor send in my transcripts and all that stuff. So that's when you need to have a good relationship with your guidance counselor. So then you need to decide which colleges you're actually going to apply to, and you should have like 3 categories, which is like reach, I don't know what the middle is called, I just call it mid, and then safety. So safety is basically the one that you know you're going to get into, and like if you don't get into any other colleges, like you'll know you'll get into that one, so that's where you can go. And then the mid is like ones that are like in your range, like you'll probably get into them, but they're still like kind of challenging. And then reach is like ones that are like, so like you are gonna be amazingly happy if you get into those colleges, but they're like not so far out of like the blue that like you have no chance, you know what I mean? So then you have to start the Common App. And then this sounds scary, but like it's not. It's really easy. People like stress out about it, but there's no need to be stressed about it. It's not that hard. It's really simple. So there's basically all these different sections: profile, family, education, testing, activities, and writing. So I'm just going to go through all of them and like explain what they are. So your profile tab is just your name, your address, like your email, demographics, citizenship, stuff like that, just stuff about you. The education is about, or the family is about your family, like life. So who lives in your household, if your parents went to college, stuff like that. And then education is like where your high school is, if you had like any interruptions in your education, if you attended any other colleges, like if you took college classes in high school, your grades, your courses, your class rank. And then the testing is your SAT and ACT, and then AP courses. And then activity section is any activities you did in high school up to 10. So choose those wisely. I'll also put pictures on the screen, but you would have already seen them, of all the sections. But I just want to do a disclaimer that these are not any of my photos. I found them online, because in order for me to get back in so I could take pictures, I'd have to like make a new account to like apply, which I'm like not gonna do because I'm in college now. And then the writing section, some colleges Well, the Common App has their basic essay, which you need to do, and there's these different topics. I don't know if they're different every year, but they have like some topics that they like recommend that you write about, and you just write your college essay. I would suggest like getting it looked over by like your English teacher or something, just to be safe. But every time you get it looked over, everyone's gonna have a different opinion on it, so like don't get it looked over by like a million people. Maybe just a few, like your parent maybe, or your English teacher. Oh, and then also in the writing section, for different colleges, there's different like writings that you have to do. Some require none, some have like a bunch of different questions. So basically, like from my experience, the bigger schools usually have more like writing, just because that's how they vet people. Like I applied to like some Ivy colleges, and it's like some of the questions were like books I've read, and like they had like a quote, and then you have to like write how you interpret it or something like that. So they're not like the easiest questions, but like you have to do some thinking about them. And then also, if you're applying for like an art school kind of thing, like I applied for the film, most schools require you to do like an art like piece. So there's usually a separate website, which I don't remember what it's called, Slideshow. I feel like it's Slideshow, but I don't think it's that either. But you upload your video to that, which is, or piece of art or whatever, or you send it to them. That's a whole separate thing. And then the final thing is review and submit. So then you just do an electronic signature with you just literally just type your name in there. But basically, you also have to decide when you're going to apply to these colleges. So there's different deadlines for all the different like types. So the types are early action. Early action is non-binding, but you get a decision early. So early action decision date, or not decision date, like admission application date is usually like October 15th or like around there maybe. And yeah, so that's non-binding, like you don't have to go to school if you get in, you just get your decision early. So then there's early decision, and early decision is binding, so that means if you get into that school, you have to go there.
So I'm editing this video, but just a quick correction to that. Early decision means that if you get accepted, you either say yes that you want to go there and then pull out of all your other like applications, or you just drop that decision whatsoever and you can't go there anymore. So that's what that means.
But you get an admission like early. That's usually like the same date. And then regular decision is just, usually regular decision application deadlines are like January 1st, or maybe before or after that, I don't know. But that is just regular, like it's not binding, you have to go there, and then you get your decision usually in like February through April. And then rolling is, you can submit your application like at any time up to whatever their deadline is, usually like into the next like February maybe or January. But they like some colleges they'll get all their applications and then they'll start like looking through them. But like rolling is as they get the applications in, they look through them and then send the decisions out. Let me just flip my page in my notes here. Oh, so this is mostly for the younger people that haven't gone through it yet, because obviously it's past Thanksgiving now. It's like, what is it, November 30th? But submit before Thanksgiving if you can, because it will just make your life like a whole lot easier. I did a lot of my applications before Thanksgiving, but then like I was like so indecisive about a bunch of stuff, so I didn't like I ended up doing a lot in December, and then literally on like the night of January 1st before it was due, I was like doing some because I just hadn't done them yet, like some of the writings that were longer. And then, oh yeah, because it's nice to know, like if you're doing early action, I literally got like my first acceptance was in December, maybe it was in November, I don't even know, but I got accepted to UB early, and that was nice to know. Like it's kind of like a Christmas present if you get to know before, especially if like you really want to go to that school. But usually January 1st is like the deadline for like colleges, but some I know are like January 15th or somewhere in like February, like at the end of January. Okay, sorry if it looks a little bit different. I have to refilm a whole part because my camera stopped filming. So basically, when you visit some colleges, make sure you like ask maybe if they have like fee waivers, because I know some colleges will give you fee waivers for visiting, but I know St. Michael's College gives you like a scholarship for visiting, I think like $1,000. But basically your counselor will submit your transcripts for you, so you don't need to worry about that. Oh, but you can submit your application before your counselor submits their stuff, so their like transcripts, and then the two what do they call, letters of recommendation. The college won't penalize you for your counselor not submitting it like by the deadline. So just make sure you submit all your materials that you need to submit before the deadline, and you'll be perfectly fine. And you don't want to wait till the last minute, because that was like terrible trying to like write all the essays and stuff the night before. And
just to clear this up, I didn't write them all the night before. I just finished them the night before and like submitted everything.
Like obviously it's not going to be your like best work, even though it might be good work. You want to put like your best foot forward. Oh, and I forgot to mention that most of the applications cost $50 to submit or more. Like the bigger schools usually cost more, so that's why you want to really narrow down what colleges you want to go to so you don't spend a ton of money. Oh, so then the next thing is financial aid. So the FAFSA is like the federal financial aid, and it's really not hard. You just need your like tax returns, and your parents can work on it with you. But you want to submit that when it comes out, which I think is October. I'll like put the date on the screen. Like obviously it's not going to help you guys now, but submit that as early as you can, because then when you get your acceptances, the scholarship info will come with it instead of like coming after, which I guess is fine, but like it's just nice to have like right then and there. And then also if you live in New York, there's TAP, which is the state financial aid, but I don't know if they have that in like other like states, but there's probably something, so just you gotta research it. But also don't neglect like your activities that you've been doing throughout all of high school just because you have like all this stuff on your plate applying to college right now. I mean, the colleges still want to see that you're participating in these activities that you have been all of high school, so just don't neglect those. And then you need to be looking for scholarships like throughout the whole year. So basically, like in my guidance counselor's office behind the secretary's desk, there was like a whole table with just folders and folders of scholarships. So literally like every week, even though I was like down there for like asking questions or something, but I would just look through them and then I would fill them out as I go, because some of the deadlines are early, so you guys get to stay on top of your scholarships because you want as many as you can. So then October through May, you'll just receive your decisions online and through mail. I'll put like a picture in of what the online looks like. Like usually some colleges will send you like information to log in, and then you just can see your decision, and then you get it, or you get it like in a packet in the mail. And then it's okay if you don't get in. Like if you don't get in, just think of it, it's not meant to be. Even if it's like your dream school, maybe you're meant to be somewhere else. So then May 1st is the usual like decision day, and that's the day when colleges want your decision if you're going there or not, and you have to submit your deposit. So you really want to weigh your options like really well, just all the different factors that there are, and remember that it's your decision, it's no one else's, and you won't be happy if you go where someone else wants you to. Well, you might, but like you probably won't. And then, so basically a deposit is like just saying that you are going to go to this college and like saving your spot. And usually you can do that like over your portal online, or you can maybe mail it or do it in person if you live like close. Oh yeah, it's just like common courtesy that you email your other colleges that you got into and just say thank you for this offer of admission, but I'm going to be going to this other college, because it's just a kind thing to do and like courteous to let them know you're not going there. And also some colleges keep like records of that, where kids are going over their college. And then May on, you'll get more college info from the one you picked, and then also get in the Facebook group of your college so you can meet your friends, maybe your roommate. That's how I met my roommate. But I don't know, I have like a lot of people on Snapchat and Instagram from like the Facebook group, And I don't know if it's like the best way to make friends because it's kind of awkward sometimes when like you don't really know them. Like I talked to them online before, but like now that we're here, like we didn't really like talk. And now it's kind of just like awkward if you see them and like you don't really know them, you don't know like what to say, like do you say hi? I don't know. So it could be a good thing and it could be a bad thing also. But and then in the summer you just go to orientation where you listen to presentations about like rules and just like everything. You get your student ID and then you make your schedule. Some colleges might be different though, like some really big colleges I know they'll just like make your schedule for you. But like my college, like a medium college, they let us choose it. And you don't do it on yourself the first time, like an advisor will be there for you. And then you can also meet people at orientation. And then in August you go to college. So basically that's it. I hope this helps you guys. Sorry this was kind of like rambling, but I mean like I didn't know really anything about it until I researched stuff, and I hope that you guys know more about the whole applying to college process, because I don't know how people expect people to know anything about something if they've never learned it, you know what I mean? But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you have any more questions, leave them down below in the comments. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!